Good morning, Year 3, and welcome to day 5. We've been looking at 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional shapes this week, lines and surfaces, straight lines and curved lines, and now we're going to look at some patterns. First of all, here are the answers to yesterday's task. If you pause the video and just check your answers. And obviously your models on this and the answers to this would have looked different, so I haven't given you any answers. So looking at patterns. Now, as you can see, we are using some of the shapes that we've been looking at earlier in the week. And we can look at, make patterns in different ways. So if you have a look at this one, all the shapes are squares, but they are different sizes. And our repeating pattern, our pattern unit, is a large one, a middle-sized one, and a small one. And then it repeats. Large, middle-sized, small. Large, middle-sized, small. So we would call that our pattern unit. We can also make them using different shapes. So here we have shapes of all the same colour, but what changes in this pattern is the shape. So we go square, triangle, circle, square, triangle, circle, and so on. So our pattern unit is a blue square, a blue triangle, and a blue circle. And we can make repeating patterns using different colours. So again, the shape here is the same, squares, and it's the colour that changes, green, pink, blue, green, pink, blue. So our pattern unit is green, pink, blue, square. We can also make them a bit more complex by using a shape with a shape inside it and actually turning the shape. So if you imagine this one, we have moved in a clockwise direction. We've moved it around 90 degrees. So it becomes this. And then again, we've moved it round clockwise until the yellow shape is pointing up. And then we've turned it again. So our repeating pattern takes us through 4 moves. Now, if you can, it'd be good to cut out one of these and actually follow it, and you will then be able to feel how the pattern changes. Sometimes that's quite helpful. This one, we've used a repeating pattern using 2 different sizes and shapes. So we have a square, green square with a blue circle in it, and then we have a blue circle with a green square in it. Can you work out what the repeating pattern is and then continue it? So we can see this time we've got 2 shapes in our repeating pattern. So you would continue on with the square with the blue circle with the green square, and so on. So they can be quite complicated or they can be quite simple. Have a look at these, pause the video, see if you can find the repeating pattern and work out what comes next. So in this one, we can see that our repeating pattern, they're all heart-shaped. So what's changing? It's the colour. And we have a dark blue, orange, light blue, yellow. Then we go back to dark blue again. I just always run on a little bit just to check, but again, we've got orange, light blue, yellow. So I can see that the pattern is these 4, dark blue, orange, light blue, yellow. To complete this, I'll look back here at my pattern unit. I've got the dark blue, I've got the orange, so I know that the light blue would come next and then the yellow. Here we're all the same colour, but it's the size of the shape that's changing. So we've got big, medium, small, big, medium, small, big, medium, small, big. So if I look at my repeating unit, I know that after big comes the medium and the small. And then this one, gosh, this one makes my eyes hurt. It's crosses in all directions. So we can see we've got a cross here, which is then moved round. And then we've got a cross with arrows on the end of it. They're all the same colour, but it's the shape that's changing. And we can see that we've got a repeating unit of 3 because we go back to cross this way, one that's moved round, one with arrows. So if I look to the end, see that on the repeating unit, we've already got this shape, so I need to do this one and then this one. So today's activity, we've got lots of different patterns. On this page, I'd like you to look at the patterns, work out what the repeating units are, and then continue the pattern on. Again, work out what the repeating pattern is and work out what comes next. Getting slightly more complicated. Then I would like you to have a look, see if you can work out what the repeating pattern is, and then circle which of these shapes would come next in the patterns. I've given you a couple of options. This one is at the end, so you'll need to work out the repeating pattern and then look to see whether it's this one that would come after this one or this one. Again, work out which shape comes next, but I've put them in the middle of the pattern just to make things a little bit more tricky for you to get your brains thinking. Joshua has made a pattern using some shapes and colours. I would like you to spot his mistake and correct it. And then have a go at making some of your own patterns. I've just given you some suggestions for shapes and colours. You can use your own, whatever you want, and challenge someone at home or in your classroom to see if they can find the repeating pattern and work out what the next piece is. And because it's Friday, here are the answers, but make sure that you have completed all the activities before you look and check your answers. And have a lovely weekend.